public as soon as it
Oh
goes
yeah,
live.
you make it public, then I can get
And we're going to be ready and organized today.
it. We ready, but I don't know.
We're always
I'm
ready. We
never
stay ready.
organized.
Ain't organized.
We stay ready.
I'm
We
like,
ready, baby. Organized. I don't know about that. I got every. Oh, I better shut up.
I got it, y'all. I'm changing the public right now.
Woo.
Bam. We ready. It's organized. You got it, Teresa?
I'm trying to get to Facebook and.
You got it, Kimberly?
Oh, we already there, girl. You got me.
do I have what, darling?
I didn't tag you. Okay. I'll tag you. In 1 second. I'm going to tag you. Because we got a lot to talk about today. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our third episode of Black Girl Chit Chat. I'm trying to get this camera together because, I'm not in my regular space today. I'm in Augusta. So, of course, we have with us Teresa Hardy and Kimberly Carter, and we are going to be talking about the hot topics of the day. We have so much to talk about today. It is so much that has happened this past weekend, past week. So y'all go ahead and start sharing. Start sharing now. We need y'all to share because we need people to talk about Black Girl Chit Chat. Kimberly Carter, Teresa, what story we starting off with today?
Man, we got so many. Let's start off with the case. Let's start off with the Chauvin, whatever his name.
Okay, so we're going to start
Eric
off with.
Chauvin.
We're going to start off with the Chauvin case. So what about it? What's happening? Tell me what y'all are hearing. Closing arguments are in place. So what are we doing?
Yeah, we got the closing arguments in place. Well, I get upset because they keep putting more emphasis on what he had in his body as it relates to drugs and all that stuff instead of the emphasis on what really took place, which was the officer stood on his neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. It really upsets me, but then I hear that that's the lawyer's job to actually defend the case. So I'm really looking forward to it, but I kind of am skeptical.
You went off the mic. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, how political this outcome would be, but I know it would be a game changer for all of us, no matter what the verdict is. What you say? What y'all say? What you say?
Okay, Kimberly, what you think?
So one of the things that what I will say is this, and that is that unlike some of the comparisons that people are trying to make to the O.J. Simpson trial that all of us lived through, this particular trial, this trial of Derek Chauvin, how this amazing prosecutorial team wove this story for us has been one of the most amazing prosecutorial presentations of a case that I have seen in my lifetime. And I think that this case is such a reflection of America. All of us know a Floyd. Every one of us got a Floyd in our lives in some type of way. And we all connect to the story in so many different ways. And not just from the pain points, but just from loving our mamas, taking care of our families. It is such an amazing story. I thought that the prosecution did an articulate job today with making sure that the jury understood that this ain't about police officers. This ain't about what's on Facebook, YouTube. This is about this piece of crap sitting in front of you and what he did for 9 minutes and 29 seconds on a May afternoon to a black man named George Floyd. And so I thought that was excellent. The prosecution, Eric Nelson, whether you like the guy or not, the defense attorney, he has some serious stamina because he has been doing all of this this by himself, because, child, I don't know who else would want to represent this man anyway. But I live in this country and believe that you are innocent until proven guilty, and that is what we have, this system that we have, whatever, so I am being prayerful. The jury has this. They've got three options, right? Second degree murder, third degree murder, or manslaughter. They got three options. I am believing that they're going to come back with something, right? But we know that Eric Nelson was only speaking to an audience of one today, Dee and Teresa. All he needs is one, right? That's all he needs is one. So I thought that, so we shall see. I'm not, I'm shaky about the composition of this jury, but of course we know the area that we're in. It is heavily white. I think it's 9 white, 6 black, and two biracial folks. So we shall see. And I know the alternates are gone now. So I think the 12. I think we still have a couple of young brothers on there, and a couple of other young people. So the age range is 20 to 60 years old is the span of the people weighing this trial. So let's keep them in prayer. Keep them in prayer. The world is watching.
Mm-hmm.
The world is watching.
Yeah.
And I'm just concerned because I was in Charleston this weekend, hanging out with my cousins. So shout out to my cousins. We had a great cousin getaway. We needed it because a lot of times when you become adults, you don't get together unless you're doing something some serious death, sickness, but it's good just to get away and kick it. But anyway, there was a protest down in Charleston, right literally down the street from Emmanuel AME Church, where we were staying at the hotel. And we were just listening to some of the younger people, I would say between the ages of maybe, because it's a college town, 18, probably to about 40 years old, probably was in the park. And people were like, we're watching this case and America better be ready because we're going to, tear up the place if they don't come back with the jury to convict. And I was like, wow. I mean, I think people are really upset and really are willing to burn it all down, y'all, if we don't get a guilty verdict. So what do you all think?
Yeah, I saw that there's some different states across the state where people are starting to board up their businesses, kind of preparing, because it said it reminded them of Rodney King when it happened to Rodney King, and everybody just started looting and burning up stuff. So I'm hoping that they don't do that, but I guess preparation is key.
Okay, but before we move to this topic, do you think it's okay for people to loot, or I'm going to use the words they use, not what we say. Do you think it's okay for people to burst windows or throw bricks or riot, loot? Where are y'all on that?
Well, I personally believe in I'm a peaceful protester, even though I'm radical. I'm still about that peace. I don't believe in burning up and breaking down things because somebody still got to clean it up at the end, and it puts us in a different perspective. And then your voice is not really heard because you done broke up everything, and that's what people are talking about instead of what you was actually protesting about. So I don't agree with no one looting and burning up stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you don't like people looting and burning up. Kimberly, what about you?
I am probably not the greatest person to ask questions like this to, because I am always going to turn to whataboutism, and I happen to be a red-blooded American. But when I look at the history of this country and how much looting, raping, pillaging, rioting that has been done since the Mayflower landed, I just cannot make or pass any judgments on anyone and how they express themselves, as long as they make sure that they are not harming other human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. King has reminded us time and time again that the riot is the voice of an unheard people.
Now, I wonder what the people are thinking. I'm just curious. So if you put something in the Facebook chat, I'm going to look back and forth over all the mediums. But if you, where do you all stand? Do you think that people should do whatever's necessary, by all means necessary, burn it down if they have to? Or do you believe that people should be calm and be peaceful protesters? Or do you think people should be someplace in between? Or each situation merits a different response? What do y'all say?
Hey D, can you just add to that? I mean, we're always asking the people to be calm. When are we going to ask the police to be calm?
With the
When are we going to
police,
ask
I
the
agree.
police to start rolling out tanks and having our communities looking like we live in Afghanistan, when people are exercising their First Amendment rights? I'm waiting for somebody to tell the police to calm down and to be respectful and to not harm human beings, in situations when they can. But that's just me. I told you, when it comes to this, I miss whataboutism.
That's
Yeah,
a
I'm
good.
trying to play around with these setting things right here. But I'm with you. I'm probably more, you know what? I'm gonna leave that alone because you know what?
Yeah, we do want the police to be calm though. That's a good.
Yeah,
Well, I
we need
like
them to be
that.
calm, but we need people to make laws that make sense too. And we got to get rid of qualified immunity. You can't go around here just killing people and think you're gonna get away with it just because you are a police officer and because you obviously are not protecting and serving. You're doing something, but it's not protecting and serving. You killing every time you get a chance because you're afraid.
That's
Obviously,
right.
black people, or you
That's
don't care about our flesh, and so we've got to really look at policing in America and how we train, fund, and everything else, police department, law enforcement. And we got to have real conversations about that and not be afraid to speak truth to power and call it out for what it is. Okay, next topic. Ooh, Georgia is on fire right now. So those of y'all who don't live in Georgia, honey, we got two announced candidates, and did that other man announce? We have Vernon Jones running for governor against Brian Kemp. We have King. What's Janelle husband name?
Kevin.
Kevin King running for U.S. Senate against Raphael Warnock. These are on the Republicans ticket now. And then what? And then
don't don't
Herschel.
forget Judge T.K. Hudson for Secretary of State. Remember, he's one of but I'm
Is he
understanding that
black?
he's going to be
We black.
running as a Democrat.
Is he black?
Yes, he is. He's in Swain. He's a judge from Swainsboro. He actually swore in Governor Kemp.
And he's getting ready to run for Secretary of State
Yes,
against David Bell Eyes and Jody Heiss. I'm just asking you.
no.
That's on the
This
Republican
is
side.
he is Kemp's boy,
Hmm.
but I think he's going to try to run under the D banner.
Okay,
But
well
he
that's
is a
cute,
Republican.
but that's a no. That's a no, and that's another no. So anyway, what do y'all think about Vernon running for governor and Trump people lining up to run against black Republicans lining up to run against our people? Where are we on this? Come on, y'all talk to me. Y'all got to say
Well,
something about this.
one thing I want to say is Republicans are literally trying to use black people. They just using black people. If you want black people on the ticket, the Republicans are actually being deliberate about getting black people on the ticket. And you and I know a lot of the Republican Party conventions have never ever, you can point the black, well, you couldn't find the black people in there. Now they're finding candidates in the state of Georgia because they said that the black people came out and voted. So let us go and get some black people to put on the ballot so that everyone can vote for the black people.
But I hope black people see through the smoke screen. I mean, I'm trying to tell you this.
We're smarter than that.
I mean, first of all, let me go back to Wanda Jones. She said she's in the middle. Do what's best for you in response to protest, y'all. So,
Okay.
yeah, she said sometimes peaceful protest doesn't get everyone's attention, and she's absolutely correct because people don't start paying attention till you have to basically act a fool up in here, like DMX would say, up in here. So, and peace and blessings to
Rest in
DMX.
peace, DMX.
Yes, I'm just saying. Okay, but back to the story. You can tell, this is Black Girl Chit Chat because we stopped to pause, talk about DMX. But anyway, Vernon Jones, and I used to consider Vernon a friend until, I don't even know what's happening here. I don't know what's going on. Kimberly, what do you think about Vernon running for governor? But I'm gonna have my popcorn ready. I promise you
No,
that.
I will say this. I think it's a very interesting strategy that the Trump people are doing to try to load the top ticket with black men. Clearly, from the 2020 election results, they were very giddy about the bump they saw in black male support here in the state of Georgia. And
Mhm.
so they're going to try to test it because let's remember, Georgia is a place of changing demographics. We will never see, probably in our lifetimes, races, especially statewide top ticket races, that aren't razor thin margins. Even if we take every seat and flip everything blue, we'll still see these razor thin margins. So
Mhm.
when you're looking at those types of margins, of course you're trying to look at some different strategies. How do you pull some people off the table? Because clearly what we're finding is having that third party on there, the libertarians, they've lost a lot of gusto, right? So, so I think that it's a very, very interesting strategy.
But how do we feel about
To
this? How do we feel? How do we feel? Literally, black women. How do we feel about these jokers running
well now,
against our
well you
people?
Well, I'm different. So I am not, I don't want everybody around me that looks like me, thinks like me, politically, ideologically, or any other way. So I am not particularly bothered by the fact that black Republicans or black conservatives exist, because I center blackness and black
That's
folk.
not what I'm talking
And
about.
we're not talking
I'm not
about,
talking
okay,
about Republicans. I'm talking about Trump Republicans. See, this we done went to a
well,
whole nother
you are
place with this
absolutely
damn
right.
Trump.
You are absolutely right. Okay, so I see what you're saying. You're
Yeah.
saying that when we are having these conversations, we no longer have a Colin Powell,
Right.
Condoleezza
Right.
Rice
Mm-mm.
Right.
Mm-mm.
type of, and what was that baby's name from Oklahoma? That they don't exist anymore. That what we are dealing with now are people who are out here clout chasing for the clicks, the likes. They're grifters. They're trying to get all this money from the micro donors and things of that nature.
And straight
I,
clowning. We have a lot of what's that girl
yeah,
name that makes my nerves bad?
Good.
Like
well,
Candace Owens,
Ooh, yeah. Hmm.
And the other girl before she said she apologized, I want to come back.
well,
What's
it's going to
Stacey
be interesting.
Dashing?
But
Uh,
I'm gonna tell you what's going to be most interesting. Since Trump is claiming that this is his slate, or since they're claiming they're Trump slate. Now I ain't heard Trump say they're his slate, but they
Right.
seem to believe they're his slate, and we're just going to see them put their money where their mouth is. Because what we know for certain is that none of these folks we're mentioning, including Miss Where Are Her Edges, Candace Owens,
I forgot.
ain't none of these
You
folks.
always
Ain't none of these folks. Cause see, I done snatched the edges so much about my girl D Dawkins-Haigler, she ain't got none. But anyway, but back to the real. What we're gonna see is the GOP, the GQP, or whatever they call themselves now,
Mhm.
the Goop Squad, or whatever, the Gookie Squad, or whatever they are now, if they're going to invest in these black candidates. Because remember that what
Yeah.
they claim is that us over here, we own some kind of plantation where we're not being invested in. But we're gonna see how much they're invested in.
Well,
okay. So here we go. So Leslie Roberts said they are puppets being used and manipulated by the Republicans, and they forget what happens after they get in office. And then we got some other people that went back to the conversation about burning down stuff. Some people saying they don't understand why you're burning down stuff. You got to shop and live and work in a place. I mean,
mhm.
so we're
Good
gonna
point.
keep working on through that. But these Republicans now, hopefully, one thing I know for certain and two for sure is Vernon Jones is going to give Brian Kemp a damn heart attack. I mean, he is going to upset that man's equilibrium. He's going to run him straight flat crazy, and I am here for all of it. The show is going to be outstanding, honey. We don't have to pay to go to the circus
Right.
zoo, or whatever, all the animals and clowns we need gonna be right here in Georgia in 2022. I mean, I cannot
They
wait.
started now. They started.
Well,
I can't
yeah.
wait.
You have more faith in Mr. Jones than I do, because all I've ever seen him do is attack Black people, Black women, and trans people, and for that he can take a long walk on a short pier for me.
But see, that's a but Teresa, what do you know? 'Cause see, we know Vernon from the south. You know, we know him from the south side of the cab. And
Yeah,
so
that's not how we know Vernon. That's what someone made him do. So I mean, Vernon is down with the people. And I ain't trying to give him no accolades because he's running for governor. It was Vernon who was our first Black CEO who put sidewalks on the South End where no one else did that prior to him getting there. I mean, he tried to bring back the quality of life living for DeKalb County. Now, what he's going through now, I don't know. Him running for a governor, hey, why not? Everybody said if you want to run, go run. So I can't even back off of him running. I'm up for the show. I'm like D. I got my popcorn.
yeah, he done went, you know, he's gone all the way to the, I can't say the left or the right. I'm not sure what Vernon's doing. I thought at first he was doing it for theater.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he used to get he got in a lot of trouble with white people. Republicans hated him because he was so pro-Black and getting all the contracts to Black people in DeKalb County. And then women started saying he was doing stuff. And then next thing you know, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. All I know is that stuff, the way he was licking Trump boots and stuff, I can't really tell you what's happening.
I know,
It's a hot mess.
Well, remember, my hometown is Macon, Georgia, and remember he came down to Macon, Georgia, doing a Trump rally at the Middle Georgia Regional Airport to COVID surf the crowd before speaking. So clearly, I do not have the same positive memories of Mr. Jones that my beloved sisters of the greater than Decatur, the great DeKalb County, have. So I will. I trust your opinions, and I will just move on from there. But if
she said the great surfer. Because he was crowd surfing.
If his level of support is indicative of the turnout at his announcement, I think that Brian Kemp will be sleeping very good until November 3rd, 2022.
Did anybody show up to the announcement?
Where was it?
Well, yeah, a bunch of QAnon kooky people. He has hired the former New York Police Department commissioner, a real crook. I mean, a real crook, okay? I'm not talking about alleged. I'm talking about Shorty got the papers to prove his crookedness. And he is his security advisor. And then some wafy looking person who is supposedly his communications person. And then if you had a chance to watch Barry Fleming's, one of his hearings for the voter suppression bills, around the last week of the hearings, a woman came with a ukulele to sing a happy song about these voter suppression bills. She was there. Need I say more? And that concludes my report.
She sounds like, baby, thank you. Read your report, honey. Read your report.
Yes.
You know what? Do y'all know that lady, Debbie Dooley of the the Tea Party? Do y'all know that woman who, I can't think of her name.
You know, is she the one that's a member of the NAACP? You know, a few of the Tea Party people are members of the
Lord, I hope she's not. I really hope she's not.
Well,
but
no,
she's one who kind of got that Tea Party really.
Consider themselves. Yeah, some of them consider themselves to be part of the Frederick Douglass side and all this.
Yeah, get on up out of here. But anyway, if this is the one I'm thinking about, that lady crazy as creek water. I was on a show with her. I think it was RT America. It might have been News Nation. I don't know. But basically, she said the reason why Black people have long lines around their polling places and why she loved the bill so much is because the people running the elections in DeKalb County don't know how to run them. That's why the lines are long. Not because voter suppression, maybe you have less precincts or less machines in the precincts and you've done things, you know, other systemic things going on. No, it's because they don't know how to run the elections. And so now this bill will give the legislature the opportunity and the state election board to go in and overtake these counties where people just don't know how to run elections. She said, we don't have long lines where we live. Sure, you got that you don't. You might have got 10 machines for 5 people.
But you're not DeKalb County either. Come on now. You're not
Hello?
You don't know
Crazy.
what we got in DeKalb.
That lady crazy they come.
She need to come over here. Let me show us something.
But she loves it. She's like, this is what we need. I mean, we've been cheering for this. I mean, it's just so much.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow.
You know, so we even we have a lot of issues. You know, yeah, today I talked to somebody in Augusta as I was driving back from Charleston, and she did a lot of work. She's 7 years old, but I'm not going to call her name because I don't say the age now. But she did a lot of work on the election. And she said, I'm really concerned. Why would we want to boycott or protest over people just not getting water and food? She said, hell, people can eat before they go to the polls, because that is the message that's getting out, not the message about everything else that's lined up in the bill. The only part people are getting is you can't give people food and water, or you have to have a valid ID, and people are going to have portable coffee machines out on the road. That is all they know. So that's dangerous. So now what we've done is we've created a narrative, we've allowed a narrative to stick that does not represent what is really happening with this bill in Georgia, this SB 202. I mean, and when I told her some of the things in the bill, she's like, you got to be kidding me. Nobody's telling us this. We just thought it was about food and some water.
What? See, that's what I'm saying. That's why you got to learn how to read.
But you know, most elderly people like that, will they really go and pull the bill?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot you said 70. Yeah.
And even some people that are 40, 50 cents, are they really going to pull the bill and read the bill? They're
not pulling the bill. That's what we do. But we have to do a better job of the narrative, because the narrative that they're seeing is on media only, right? So we have to set them straight on platforms like this. Right.
So we'll come back to the voting bill, because this, it's so much chatter going on. I just heard today from somebody on this, one of the three of us, said somebody's supposed to be boycotting Home Depot in DeKalb County.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not understanding the logic for that at this very moment, because Home Depot's everywhere.
I thought the boycott was on pause.
I don't know what is happening anymore. Does anybody out there know what's happening with this boycott that I've been talking about for weeks? We all been talking about it's on, it's off, it's pause, it's up, it's down. I mean, we look crazy, and we got to get united, because people are not going to take us serious if they think we don't know what we're doing, or we're not together and scattered. So, anyway, Kimberly, let's talk pop culture for a second. You brought something to us today, and we thought it was very, very interesting.
I'm scared.
We heard that it doesn't matter your socioeconomic status. Men are men are men are men, honey. It doesn't matter your race, your religion, your creed, baby. Yeah, a man is a man is a man. Come on, talk to us about this.
I know where we're going with this. This is so for probably the past 3 to 4 months, the press gaggle has been going crazy, because there have been different leaks about J-Lo and A-Rod, one of the hottest couples of the decade, hottest couple of the Panasonic, about them, about them breaking up. And so remember, it was all huge, and J-Lo posted some video of her being single and happy and all this kind of thing. And then it gets rolled back, and they are back together, and all this kind of thing. And of course, the rumors are floating about him, cheating with some young starlet and all this kind of thing. And so, because I have so much fun, because, a lot of the young people that work with me are, Zennials or younger than that. And so it is so interesting to me, to talk about these kind of things, because, I have to let them know, they're growing up in a time where people are polyamorous and or where the lines aren't as hard.
Some people may not know what polyamorous means. That means you have several people. That's basically what it means.
And everybody's good with it, right? I mean, and everybody's good with it. There's no tension, right? And so, so the younger generation are very different about the hard structured lines of relationships and gender. So I just had to let them know. Well, first of all, J-Lo is of a certain age. And in that age group, it's just certain things that we are not going to have. And then not only is she of that certain age, but she is of that certain financial status. So she understands that while her heart may be broken, don't believe what they tell you about money can't buy happiness. You can go buy you something to make you happy, okay?
Well, okay.
But I think it's very interesting, that I don't know if I can handle being that famous where I've got to have a PR team to put out a press statement, about our breakup and the, the conditions of our breakup and all this kind of stuff. But one thing that we do see in the difference in the generations, like I said, in the generational difference, and definitely when we look at sisters like Mary J. Blige, Wendy Williams, and including J-Lo, they don't mind cutting one out and off and be like, goodbye, sir, where we have the flip over here with our Cardi B's and Saweetie's and our younger women in hip hop who seem to have very different opinions about when the guy cheats and things like that. And we can say it's age, we can say it's whatever, but I think it's
I don't bother people when they cheat.
And I want to hear y'all's input on that, about how you feel about those things. And I'm gonna be quiet.
I mind's my business.
That's me too. Me too.
Because I mind's my business. I'm trying to tell you, some men so good with cheating, you won't even know their dog's on cheating. So you might say, well, I wouldn't dare be with a man who's cheating. Hell, it could be cheating. You just don't know he's cheating. And same with women. And then if you, God forbid, you tell somebody cheating, it's all over. They're going to be very upset with you. So I mind's my business. But it's good that J-Lo and people like that, Mary J. and who else? Wendy Williams have their own, finances to take care of themselves just in case a man want to cut up and act a monkey fool. Then you could be on your way if that's what you so choose. But because you might be polyamorous, and you might say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. He got a boo, I got a boo too. We all booed up, boo, boo, boo.
It is between the two. It's or the one. You have to make a decision for yourself. I don't think people need to go through life worrying about if they cheating or not. Well, I done got to that age. I ain't got time to be chasing you. I'm not finna chase you.
And not gonna fight over you.
I'm not finna fight over you. I done did all that.
I might cut you, but I ain't gonna fight over you.
Exactly. And women, please stop doing that. Please stop going after the other women. Please. Come on now. Come on, sisters. Love on each other. He did it to you, he gonna do it to the other one. So learn how to step up your game and play that.
We got to come back to this one day and just talk about this because I'm supposed to be doing a relationship.
I think we do. I think we should. I think we should come back to this and bring on some younger women and really, and really dish it up, because I think that there are definitely some generational differences, some generational differences in this, because Cardi B is certainly financially stable. She does not need a dime,
not near nothing.
Right, but she will, but when he has his, when he has his,
say what I want to say, but nothing is that good
like,
to make
but
you
I love it,
Nothing that good.
Well, she says it is. She says it is, honey. She says it is. Okay.
Well,
says it is.
I'm gonna leave that there because.
And we're all adults here. We're all adults here, and so y'all know, the whooping thing goes two ways. I mean, come on, Today is the 1 year anniversary of the Babyface versus with Teddy Riley. So I just thought about the Whip Appeal song.
Oh my God, that was an epic fail.
The Whip Appeal goes both ways. The whip appeal
Everything
goes
fails.
away. So we can be whooped and they can be whooped too. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
You're not gonna make me mistake. But all I know is this: I'm of the mindset I'm of the mindset. You kill my dog, I kill your cat. We gonna.
Okay.
I mean,
Wait
don't
a
get mad, I
minute
get even.
now.
Let's
Wait
keep it
a
moving.
minute now.
Yeah,
Uh-uh.
Wow.
yeah.
No.
Don't get mad, you get even.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
But you know, wait, because the Christian in me should say, we're going to pray about it. We're going to have some long suffering. No, we're going to do what you do. Because, you know, my motto, I already told y'all, my motto in 2021 and beyond is I'm on whatever you want.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
that's in all relationships. That's on everything. You come in peace, I'm going to be peaceful. You act the fool, I'm going to act the fool.
Right.
You clown, I'm clown. I'm telling y'all. So I'm on whatever you want.
Right. I like
Because I'm
that.
old now. Now I realize why my
I'm about to
grandmama
put
would
that
say what she
down. I'm
said
gonna
and did what she did. Because when you're going to be a certain age, you don't have time for the bull. So you're going to just do what you got to do or pray, leave it in God's hand, but you're really not going to put up too much foolishness.
Not too much.
Not too much.
Not too much.
Not too much. Because we don't have that much time. Like, you know.
Too much going on. It's too
And,
much.
and I don't blame J-Lo. See, J-Lo got money and time. So we're going to move off of her for anyway. So, but I'm still on mind business. Whatever J-Lo like, whatever her, A-Rod, whatever they like, we like it too. Now, we don't have enough time because we only have a few minutes left because we're trying to keep y'all under an hour. Can't talk about Stonecrest the way I want to talk about Stonecrest, but God knows next week Stonecrest is going to be real, real long.
Yeah.
I am so upset and disgusted with what's going on with the city of Stonecrest. I mean, I am absolutely, utterly discouraged and just let me help y'all. In the state of Georgia, there are two new black cities. One is called South Fulton, the other is called Stonecrest. They were voted on, passed by the Georgia General Assembly, and each area had to vote on these to become cities. Many people fought against them becoming cities because they said if black people started their own cities, nothing but foolishness would start. And, you know, black people don't know how to run their own city. I don't believe that. I believe black people are very competent and know how to run governments, know how to build governments. I mean, hell, we built this country.
Right.
But right now we have a battle going on. Right now it seems like it's between Senator Emmanuel Jones, who represents a little bit of DeKalb, and the mayor of Stonecrest, Mayor Jason Larry. It's played out all over the papers. He has asked for the mayor to resign. He's even asked the governor to remove him. He's saying there's impropriety with the CARES funding. The mayor has called him out saying he ain't nothing, never liked me. He's against me. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you. All of this is written down, press conferences, newspapers. I mean, this is a mess. It's a tragedy. I am ashamed with the black people founding like this over here in Stonecrest. But we're gonna talk about it a little bit more next week about where some of the CARES funding went, how this all happened, how do we get ourselves back together? If something does happen in the city, do you blast it all over the state? Do you bring in the FBI, the governor? Do you try to sit down and reason together? Or if it is indeed any of it true, do you go so far as to ask people to be removed from office? Like, what do we do? Because what they should be doing right now, black folk all across Georgia, is going from county to county with those legislators who passed this voting bill and get their behinds out of office, or find out where they work and help close down their businesses or take away services and products from them. Like the architect, one of the architects in the house, Barry Fleming, Representative Barry Fleming. I'm telling you what they're doing in Georgia, and I'm so proud of them. They are going to places where Barry Fleming is the city or county attorney, and they're asking him to resign or be fired. And I love it. It makes me want to sing that song. You remember that song that was going on when the white
I
people
do
like
too.
real crazy? Like, you were about to lose your job. They need to go from every city attorney where that man is a city attorney, and a lot of those are predominantly black areas.
Wow.
And take his job. He should not be the city attorney for anybody when he put together a voting bill like that, voting reform bill like that in Georgia. So that's all I got. But I'm proud of them because people have been going to protest, and I'm going to go down to a few more of those counties and cities and protest with them. And then I'm going to just go down the list of all the people who signed that bill or sponsored that bill and go right to their business. We got to hit them in the pocket because people only understand green. When they don't have no jobs and no money, then they'll start acting like they got some sense around here.
But that's why we also got to do the candidate recruitment, D. We got to make sure that we recruit people.
Hello. Job.
No. Excuse me. That is all of our job. That's not just my job. That is all of our job.
We need to identify candidates who, you know what? And the thing is, you just need to be able to qualify. Right?
Qualify and run for office.
You run for office.
Because we're going to talk about Stonecrest. I promise you we are. And we are going to come back to that. She said, what businesses do they own? We're going to find out. See, no one has really sat down, not really, and did a real study, a deep dive into where do they live? What businesses do they really, what business do they have, Teresa? Because we need to know exactly where they are and what businesses they own. Dang. So we can dry up their pockets and there can be a famine in their land. Until they do right by us. Like from The Color Purple, until you do right by me, everything you touch.
All right now. All right.
Do right by Black people. Everything you touch.
Everything.
Okay. What else do we have in the next 5 minutes that we could talk about? We're going to talk about something good. Anything good going on in the world, America?
Well, I mean, all I want to say is that I love Auntie Maxine.
Oh,
and
yes.
if they think that they're going to touch a hair on her head, they're getting ready to F around and find
but tell
out
us what's going on. What's going on with Representative Maxine Waters? What's happening? Who's trying to touch a hair on her head? Who would that be?
Well, let me be very clear. What we love about Auntie Maxine is that she is a true community organizer. She's a true grassroots community organizer, and she loves to be amongst the people. And she loves us. She loves her people, and she will go to see about her people, right? That's how we end up all together at worship at Emmanuel AME Church, because she made sure that the caucus came down. Well, Dee knows more about all this than I do, to check on the members there, because they love our people, right? So she go, and she's going to show up at the protest. She was worried about the babies, went up to check on them, and just had some auntie conversation, talking about, thank you for what you're doing. This is what we need. We can't take our feet off of the accelerator. We have to keep going. We have to keep pressing. We have to be confrontational.
Is this why? Is this with the George? Is this with the
right? So someone, so you know how if you go somewhere, everybody got their phones up recording it. So someone, of course, on Taylor Greene's team or whatever hears it. They splice up the recording and accuse her of inciting violence and all of this.
Yeah, y'all know who Taylor Greene is. Trying to give us some background.
Yeah. And so then Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene claims that she's going to, write the papers where she ain't doing nothing else. She ain't on no committee. She ain't doing nothing else up there but passing gas and walking the halls with guns.
But QAnon theory.
And that's all she's doing, and insulting our democracy. And so she's decided that she's going to draw down for her to be expelled. And here comes now.
So she's trying to expel
McCarthy. But now understand this. With her saying that nobody really gave a real damn until the minority leader of the U.S. Congress, in the personhood of Kevin McCarthy, decides that he is going to jump on that wagon. So this girl, with all and I mean, after a week of announcing that they're going to start this new white nationalism America First caucus, right? That now they pile on to this. So she is literally.
Well, we haven't even talked about that, Kimberly.
Oh, I know.
We have to bring that up next week.
But that is why Auntie Maxine, that's why there are now the GOP is all trying to come on her. Now we couldn't get a U.S. Senate to convict a twice impeached by Congress president of inciting the January 6th riot. But you think we're gonna let you talk about Auntie Maxine is inciting riots? I think not. And so that's what it's all about. But then today I hear that the sitting judge on the murder trial of Derek Chauvin had the unmitigated gall to talk about this particular situation and how there was some possibility of a mistrial because of Maxine Waters, who represents a district in central LA. I mean,
What in
girl, I'm
the
gone.
hell
I'm
does
gone. I'm
Maxine
gone.
Waters?
I'm gone.
What does Maxine Waters have to do with this trial that he thinks is going to be a mistrial? 100. What is the hell? What is he talking about? How does that even make sense? That does not make logical sense. Because Maxine Waters said something or did something, the jury is going to be hung in Minnesota. What?
That judge needs to be derobed. I don't care what they do with him. What
Yeah,
they call
because
That's crazy.
unfrock him or whatever. And I think that our next move is we need to, since our dear brother Keith Ellison is the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota, we need to say, hey Keith, what's going on with this right here now?
This is
Because
food.
he cannot sleep well at night, even speaking against Auntie Maxine and bringing social media fodder
He needs to be dismissed. He needs to be removed.
into that courtroom. Exactly.
He needs to be removed from
I agree.
from presiding over that case, because that's so crazy
And
and just outlandish to me.
presiding over any case, they can put his ass in pet court for all I care.
Craziness. Okay, we good, y'all. We have exactly 6 minutes. We're gonna end. Teresa, I saw something today that you and Darshawn Kendrick and 3 other Black women are doing. Tell us about that real quick in our last few minutes to brighten our night before we go to bed.
Okay, so it's a Black Girl Magic. It's 5 Black girls come together to invest in our own community, and our ultimate goal is to build wealth and share that with other community members. So if you're interested in being a part of the investment, just go to our website, dollaремpowered.com.
Well, can you tell us? Can you tell us something? I mean, can you tell us something? You have the floor. People are going to go back and listen to this. So tell us, what is it?
You have to go. That's what you have to do. And we will do a presentation. So if you want to be part of the presentation that we're going to provide to you on May 13th, we're going to do the presentation so that you can get more information and how you can get involved.
Okay, tell us the website again. Tell us again.
It's it's dollaремpowered.com. DOLLAR EMPOWERD.com.
Okay.
We looking forward
I put it in the box. Okay, so we have. I'm excited. I'm gonna, I'm all with that Black Girl Magic stuff. You know who I am.
Yes.
I just got to hear what it is. Make sure you're not gonna try to help us out on these polls.
Girl, not this time.
Wait a minute now. What are we talking about? Voting polls or some other kind of poll?
You know we be out there on them polls, girl. We got to be at the polls.
Just saying.
I'm sorry. I don't. My knees are not being cooperative to that type of occupation. But please know, as long as I have my address, I am at low bandwidth. I can't join or be a part of anything else, or I'm going to be disowned by my man and my mama. But if y'all are sending out checks, I will make sure you have my address.
Okay.
Okay, so we thank you. So congratulations to you, Teresa, and other 4. We are really excited about that. We like to hear positive things, especially when people are trying to create wealth, especially generational wealth. Because I'm telling you, even though I'm from South Carolina, I was, this weekend in Charleston, and all I could do was look at all the edifices and how nice they were, and historic, and the cobblestone roads. And I thought about all the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors, how we built Charleston, how it was a slave port. And I was just looking like, and these buildings right here, they was auctioning off slaves and whatnot.
Yes,
and I was like, and they're just walking around all just lottie-dottie and not thinking that there should be reparations to the
Yes.
descendants of people who
Right.
built that city. And so we can't get too far away from our conversation on reparations. Don't think
That's
I'm
right.
No,
not
we
watching.
cannot.
No, we
We
can't.
don't, we won't
We can't
our
do
40
that. We
acres
got
of
to do
view.
that. People need to understand that. And some people be saying, don't talk about reparations. We good. No.
No,
We're not good. We're not good.
we could be great if you give us what you owe us. Pay what you
Exactly.
owe. Pay
It's
what you owe.
ours. It's
And you
ours.
owe us. And so
It's
even though I
And and, and,
enjoy
and,
the
and and we
city,
need to, and I'm glad you
kept doing
mentioned
something to me.
reparations, because we
Mhm.
know that last week, for the first time in the history of our country, and we are thankful to Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, that we will have a reparations study committee. So
Mhm.
that is great. That is the beginning. So
Mhm.
we are very, very excited about that.
Very,
And
very excited.
happy birthday to Congresswoman Gwen Moore as well. So
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday, Congresswoman Gwen Moore.
Woo.
Anything you got anything coming up, Kimberly?
oh, absolutely. Our Ready to Run orientations will be beginning this month. So everyone definitely go to www.repgeorgia.org to hear more about that. And whether you have already announced, whether you're thinking about running this year or next year or in the next 4 years, we
Mhm.
want you to come to the Ready to Run orientation, because I am currently the executive director and trainer in chief of the only program that was made by Georgians for Georgians, um,
Mm.
to run for office in the state. So I would love to have any of you come. And of course, I've got some conversations I need to have with both of you about some things I need your help with when we actually go into the full candidate training program as well.
Okay.
Because
Okay, thank you, Teresa.
one of our goals this year is to recruit, train, and run 100 Black women. And so we'll talk some more about that on another Monday night.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'll be good. Teresa, you have any other announcements?
Yes. It's my birthday.
What?
It's your birthday. Hey, hey,
Y'all gotta
hey,
come.
hey,
Hey.
hey. Okay, it's your birthday. Yes,
Hey!
one time for the birthday girl. Two times for the birthday girl.
Happy
Three times.
birthday!
Okay.
Happy
Yes,
Oh,
birthday!
it's not till the 28th, but
I
anyway,
know.
go ahead.
I just want you to know that. You know what? You're
Yes.
not gonna get one next week then. Okay, and last thing,
Oh,
tomorrow.
so don't worry. Next Monday on your birthday, I will definitely be accompanied by a glass of either dead grapes, or my uncle will be near.
Look, if you in town, Kimberly, you need to come up here and hang out with me at my little spot.
Yeah, she's having a little hole in the wall birthday
Yes.
celebration
Yes.
next week.
Yes.
Okay, tomorrow, if any of y'all are available at 11 o'clock, I will be speaking to Fort Valley students.
Oh,
They are creating these social justice conversations once a semester. And so it's kind of like a convocation, but they're doing it with a twist. They want to have social justice conversations now.
yeah. Good.
So I am the keynote speaker tomorrow. The speaker is going to be more of the conversation, and we're going to be talking about Georgia voter laws. So 11 o'clock tomorrow, and I will try to.
Be
It's on
here.
my page. If y'all go to my Facebook page, you'll see the flyer for tomorrow. And I'm just so glad that that's what the students want to do. When they called me and said, "This is what our students want to do," they
Wow.
want to have a conversation, and they want you. I was like, "Oh, well, praise be to Jesus."
Yay! That's awesome.
Okay, so anyway, we're gonna be talking about voting laws tomorrow, and I promise you, I'm only gonna talk to them kids for about, excuse me, those young leaders
Mm-hmm.
for about 30 minutes. That's all they go. That's all I got.
Oh,
And
we
I'm
also
gonna let them talk.
we're gonna be
It's more.
talking
It
about
needs to be more of a conversation.
yeah,
And
it does.
talk about some of the jacked up stuff that's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're good. We appreciate y'all joining us. Please spread the word. Please share, because the more y'all talk about it, the more we can get the word out. You know, this is our own version of the view and the talk and everything else. And so
Yes,
we know what we're talking about.
yes, we do.
So please just spread the word. Next week we'll probably have a man or two on with us.
Yeah, we'll bring them back.
Yeah, we don't want them to feel so bad and left out, and
Yeah,
because you know their feelings get hurt easy.
yeah.
That's
But we love our men. We love
we
our
love them.
brothers. But this is about Black Girl Chit Chat.
Yes, and we're chit chatting. So until next week, until we see you again. Oh, what time we doing next week? It'll be anywhere between the time of 8:30 and 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Because, you know, we have lives and other stuff going on and things just happen.
Right.
So just know our goal is 8:30 to
Yeah.
9:30, but it might be 9 to 9 to 10, like today.
Yes.
When we come on today, we start at 9:05, 9:06, and we're going to be out before 10:06. But we appreciate you. So you all have a good night, and we will see you again next week, same place, same time. Bye-bye, D. Dawkins-Haigler and Teresa Hardy, and who dropped
Yes.
off was Kimberly Carter,
Yes.
bringing up Middle Georgia. Peace.
Bye-bye.